Hey, you guys. What is up? What is up? So, I just wanted to pop on and give you guys a little update, let you know that I'm still here. And I know this may seem weird because y'all are probably like, what do you mean you're still here? You just posted a video yesterday. No, actually, I didn't. Okay. And this has me a little thrown off. But anything that you might be seeing posted that has my face in it, that is old. Those are old videos. They were put on a time schedule last year. And I thought I went in and cleared everything out because I kind of wanted to start fresh. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to switch directions with my channel a little bit, change things up a little bit. Let me get rid of everything I have filmed and set on a schedule to post. And I had done a bunch of it. And I thought I got rid and deleted, but it is still posting scheduled videos. I just looked at it today because honestly, guys, I have not really had time. I needed a break. Life got overwhelming. I was, living in a location where it really was not easy for me to film or talk anymore, not having my car. I just really kind of, had to take a break for a while. And I just wasn't able to pay attention a lot to what's going on my actual channel. And I looked at it today and I'm like, oh my God, what? Posted yesterday, running away? Wait a minute, I didn't post that. I hadn't posted on here in months. Oh, it was scheduled. So that's okay. I'm just going to, I guess, let them go. But I'm just letting you guys know anything that's current from me. This is a faceless video. There is several reasons for that. The main one being it's just at this time, it's what I feel more comfortable doing. I've had my face on the internet for years. That's not a big thing. And of course, I will be getting on camera again at some point. But right now, I'm having some dental issues. Dental work needs to be done. I'm in process of changing some things up. And really just for my own energy, I think I'm going to try faceless for a while. I think that just frees me up to have even more freedom of expression. It's an energetic thing for me. But a lot of y'all know that watch my stuff in the past years. I'm a bold little thing. I have no issue with getting on camera and talking about it, but that it is what it is right now. And that's why this is faceless. So anything current going forward, you will probably see different things in the background while I'm having these things done and having these dental issues and whatnot. Now, I just wanted to let y'all know I'm still here and I do still intend on getting some content up. And I kind of wanted to make it clear, trolls happen to be a big problem on the internet, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, these raggedy, miserable, bored people in comment sections that are just, I can be a bitch all day long if I wanted to be. It's just, but to me, the strongest people, the toughest people, the most intelligent, the people that have seen the most brutality, the people that really could be awful, cruel, cold-hearted people if they wanted to be, making fun of everyone. And those people are often the ones who choose to be kind, who choose to be encouraging to others, who choose not to pick on people and make their day horrible, not to stalk the comment sections and always be the one that has to say something, has to point out the fault or what's wrong with it or argue with it. Give me a break. So we all know about trolls and how lame they are. And these days, I just don't have any time or patience for that shit. And I disagree. No, just because you're public or put something public, no, that entitles the public, the masses, the viewers to exactly squat. They're not entitled to anything. They're not entitled to harass you, talk nasty about you, form ugly opinions and assumptions about you. They are wrong when they say they are entitled to do so. No, they're not. But that's how this world is, right? We have to deal with shitty things like that. So, going forward, I think it's just that cuts that, it's never going to cut them out totally. But I do get tired of going across the internet and it doesn't matter whose video it is, if it's funny, if it's spiritual, if it's nice, if it's polite, if it's a dog, if it's a human, it doesn't matter what it is. There's always, I know this world can be an evil, nasty, cold, cruel place, believe me, because I grew up in my fair share of freaking brutality and abuse and trauma, and I've had my struggles in life. But I know this world can be an evil, cruel place. And there's a lot, but I never really understood the amount of people who are so disconnected from themselves and so of this world. You know that saying, live in this world, not of it. So of this world, and so everything quick to trigger, quick to assume, riddled with unresolved emotional problems, repressed, stored anger and shame and guilt and all these things that they can't face in themselves and in their daily lives and confront other people and confront themselves. So they come to the internet, to the comment sections, so that they can anonymously terrorize, and that is the way they get their fix. That is the only way, I guess, they can remove some of that repressed energy inside themselves, their fears, their sorrows, their guilt, their shame, their anger, all the things they feel about themselves and other issues they may have in their life. The only way they can, I guess, think to get it out instead of seeking therapy, being proactive, studying, taking matters into their own hands and finding positive, productive ways to channel those emotions and get in touch with themselves. The only way they feel they can do it, and they're not even aware of it, but is by coming to the comment section, letting other people's videos trigger the shit out of them, which triggering is not always a bad thing. It helps us purge. It helps us become more aware of what we need to be responsible for, what emotions we need to take a look at. Triggering can be useful, but they lurk the comment sections, and I guess that's the only outlet they have for all that shit and misery and crap that's inside of them, is to let it out by stalking people's comment sections after they're triggered by something, and come to the comment sections and argue and be hateful and miserable and demanding and entitled. It's ridiculous. I never really realized how much of humanity is actually like that. It's a lot. It's a lot of them. And they feel so comfortable behind the screen to be that way to other people that they 9 times out of 10 wouldn't dare say that in real life or, try to get away with that. So for me, I just feel like that kind of shit is always going to be going on. But if I go faceless for a while, that cuts out a lot of it. I know a lot of faceless channels. They are perfectly wonderful. One of my favorite would be Infinity at Magnetize Yourself. Most beautiful channel. She has a beautiful voice. She is very deeply educated and informed on the things that I like to know about and study as far as spiritual studies, quantum level stuff. I love it. She has never once had her face on YouTube, and everybody loves her channel just fine. It is not a requirement, I don't think, that we have to have our face in there. So, for me, I'm just thinking, well, that just gives them even less of a chance to show their ass and point out and argue, because I just don't want to deal with that. So anyway, guys, that's all, just a little update. And I've been going through some massive changes and transformation processes in my life. And I've just been waiting on the right moment to come back and speak to you guys again, to get back up on that motivation, that inspired and creative flow to speak and express and create. And I know that different ones of you followed my channel for, different types of videos because I've never really had a niche here. For a long time, I was focused in on the Watts case, um, dysfunctional and traumatic relationship patterns, primarily focusing on how childhood patterns and unresolved traumas affect our marriages, our relationships, and that kind of thing. I was focused in on learning about different types of disorders, especially narcissistic abuse and things like that. Focused in on some different spiritual topics, and also focused in on people that I love. I've always loved life stories like Gia Karanji, Selena Quintanilla, and several others that had, traumatic or hardships in their life, things to overcome, beautiful, amazing talent, fashion. So my channel did kind of turn into a mishmash of different things. And I know that that is hard for the algorithm to keep up with, and it can really lower your views. But guys, the thing is, even though I am struggling financially, primarily my YouTube channel is for me. It's for my soul. It is for me to release energy, to share knowledge and information. And I was very excited when I became YouTube partner. I worked hard on getting subscribers, and I put my soul and passion into those topics. That's where I was back then. We grow and we change and we evolve. But you can get lost in that whole thing of just living for the algorithm, just living for clicks and likes and comments and how much money can I make on YouTube. And, that would be nice. I still don't have a car. I'm still living with my mother. We're sharing a little tiny place together. I'm still, working part-time because of back and knee issues and struggling, but I'm not giving up. I'm blessed and grateful for what I do have right now after all I went through. And sure, would it be wonderful to make an extra income off of YouTube? Would it be nice to complete a book? Would it be nice to have some income from that stuff, from my creative life, from sharing and creating? Absolutely. That's always been my dream since I was a little child, before social media was even thought of. Okay? Yeah, all this shit just came about. This is all brand new. It's like my personal and creative expression has been with me since I was a child, growing up in an abusive and traumatic environment and having to survive it. Always writing, singing, sharing, speaking, learning, growing, and knowing that I was going to do something with it publicly, which I did once social media came along. I always stuck to the plan. Sometimes we don't know what exactly that plan is going to look like, but we intuitively, we hear that calling. We know it's always been with us since we were young, and we just follow the best we can. We may not know why we're doing certain things a certain way, but in the end, it will all materialize and manifest as it is supposed to. It will all align as it is supposed to. So yes, I always listen to that type of thing, no matter how ridiculous it might look to other people, no matter how many times I might try something and fail at it, no matter how crazy and, you know, it might look like this YouTube channel. 4 years, 5 years, different types of videos, not able to be completely consistent. I was going through hell in my life. But at the end of the day, that was experience, knowledge. It was an accomplishment for me to even get into the partner program, to make videos that were passionate enough, that were enough to draw people in, that they wanted to hear and listen and comment. Those are accomplishments. Now, it might be all kind of up in the air now, and my channel hit a low point, but that's okay. I consider all of that not a waste of time. All of it was relevant experience and accomplishment. And it's just going to build on to what I want to go forward with and watch. It's all going to come full circle. It's all just part of that process. But see, that process of your life might look really messy to other people. And they might think that's the end. That's all you are. That's all you have. Because I've lived a lot of my messy processes publicly. That's okay, though. That is an example to let other people know, hey, just because your life gets chaotic and messy and you may stumble up a few things and not be able to be consistent and it's not looking the way you want it to look this time or this year or even for 5 years, that's not the end. That's just a small part of your becoming, your process. You see, let them think what they want. That's not all you're made of. And in the end, you keep going, you keep your focus as long as it takes, and it will all align the way that it needs to, as it is supposed to. So that's kind of that, you guys. And so, like I say, the videos that are being posted right now on my channel with my face in them, those are all from last year. They were on a schedule. I'm not even doing that. But going forward, they will probably be mostly faceless. And I do have some new content and topics I want to share with you guys and talk about. I was recently diagnosed pre-diabetic. I'm very grateful they caught it before it got into full diabetic stage. And here pretty soon, I'm going to share with you guys kind of how I got that way. What some of my lifestyle habits were, some of the things going on that I think contributed to that, and what I am learning, what I've done about the sugar problem. And, I've always been a student of life. I love learning. I've always loved diet and nutrition studies, but I don't know everything. So it's been a real experience for me this past month doing much more research and studies as far as my dietary needs and cutting sugar back and being careful that I don't go into full-blown diabetes. So I will be sharing some information, and here's the main point, guys. No matter how I appeared in the past or what my energy was back then when I was releasing all of that anger and pain and trauma and loss, and that's normal. But we do heal and grow and move on from that too. No matter what my energy was back then, the point to my channel is, first and foremost, it's for me. It's a release for me. It's therapeutic for me. It helps me to feel purposeful, to listen to that intuitive calling, to share with others and to speak and express. And it helps me get through my day, and I love doing it. But secondly, it is for the people in the way that whatever ripples out from me, however it may touch them, their lives, however they may want to interpret it, that's up to them. I am mindful of what I share and how I say it. But first and foremost, it's for me. They can interpret it however they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to censor myself completely. I just don't want to be in that trap. But I am mindful. Ideally, I would like to share things with the world that people can find some hope in their darkness, that people can find some extra strength, motivation, inspiration, some kind of little bright point to their day, or maybe a little knowledge and inspo that they hadn't thought of, that kind of thing. Ideally, that's the kind of human I am that longs for that. But at the same time, I accept my own multidimensionality. I am multidimensional. There are many layers to me, and I have a very pronounced dark side. I've survived a lot of trauma, abuse, and I've had to do a lot of work. I have a mood disorder that is tied to my hormones. I've gone through addiction of all my relatives and myself. I have, there are things that are in my roots that will probably always be there. I have an anxiety disorder. And so oftentimes I choose to express myself, sometimes in a light way and sometimes in a darker way. It's just who I am. And I want to spread more awareness on that, not necessarily in a teachy, preachy type of way that you people need to know this. That was my anger coming out years ago. That was trauma. But I'd like to share it more or less in a way of this is how I feel it. This is how I live it. This is what works for me. Leading with our energy, leading with our example, sharing what we do, but not necessarily telling people that's what they have to do, or being mindful not to put so much energy into it that it makes them feel like we are implying that they are less than or bad because they are not doing it. Those are the things I want to be mindful of, because I respect the fact that the rest of the world, every other human being, is on their own level. And it's not for me to judge whether that level is bad or good. It just is. It's where they need to be. It's what they need to be doing, working through, learning their own lessons, their own realizations. You know what I'm saying? And so I really want to be mindful going forward to just share knowledge and information in a way, experience my thoughts, feelings in a way that is open and free and ripples out. People can do what they want with it. Hopefully, it touches someone's day. But it will be mixtures of light and dark because that's authentically who I am, and I feel like a lot of times by just being ourselves in the most authentic way, our thoughts, our feelings, our processes, and leading our lives that way by example, leading with energy, leading with example, you know, just by doing us, other people will sort themselves out. However, they want to apply and take from our energy, be inspired or not, be triggered or not. Some will be triggered. Some will get angry. Some will be very, very triggered by it, and others will just be as happy and delighted and inspired. But even the ones who are triggered, we are doing our job. We're not doing it to hurt them. We're not doing it on purpose. But if someone is triggered just by us authentically being ourselves in a powerful, assertive, positive, productive manner, or speaking our own anger, whatever it is we're doing, if someone is triggered, then 9 times out of 10, that is spiritually how it was set up to be. That means that they were supposed to stumble upon us. They were supposed to have that reaction because that is going to transform them. I can't even count the times that somebody triggered me and it was transformative. And at the end of the day, I had to thank them, even if it was just in my own mind and I was, like, damn, that really transformed me. I didn't want to think about that shit. But it wasn't until you hurt my feelings or you stepped on my toes a little bit. Now, I'm going to hold you accountable for any type of abuse or mistreatment. That's not to be tolerated, but sometimes people will trigger us. Sometimes we just can't help it. It happens. But we have to be mindful of what we do with that energy when we're triggered. And we have to look deep inside. Being triggered is an opportunity for us to learn about ourselves. Really has nothing to do with the person triggering us. So y'all get what I'm saying though, right? Going forward, I just kind of want to do it in a way that doesn't, purposely trigger or aggravate people. That's not what I mean to do on purpose. But what I'm saying is I can't help it if just by being me or speaking or sharing, that rubs some people the wrong way. When that starts to happen to you and you start feeling rubbed the wrong way, that is the time for you to question it. Just like Pete Sapper used to talk about at the Chosen 144 channel, Empath Uprising. Pete was a great teacher. He used to talk about how getting triggered is actually a good thing sometimes, because it is an opportunity for us to question right then, why do I feel this way? Why am I so angry right now? Why am I so offended? Why does that pinch me so bad? Whatever it was that triggered us, what that person said or what they just did or how they did it. If you look deeply enough, look back within inside yourself and ask yourself why. You will find answers, and being triggered can be transformative. Because that's just something we can't control. I mean, hell, if that was the case, just breathing will trigger somebody. So we can't help it. We cannot, people are just going to have to get triggered. You know what I mean? Now, do I want to do that kind of thing on purpose? Just to be arrogant and mean and get people upset? Absolutely not. But we cannot control who gets upset by us. Even if we are the kindest, most polite, just enjoying our day, sharing beautiful things, somebody's going to hate you for it. It's going to trigger them so bad because they're having an awful day. Even I have to be mindful of that kind of thing. And I refuse, even right now, at almost 50 years old, still I cannot afford a car, still having to share a small room with my mother, still not where I want to be, not much freedom in my life, still having to make a comeback from all that. I still refuse to look at other people's lives and hate them for what they have. I still refuse to do anything but remain joyous, genuinely inspired, and authentically happy for them when they achieve success, when they get something new. My family, my friends, the people around me that have more than I do, it's not their fault that my life fell in the shithole. It is not anyone else's fault. They can smile. They can enjoy their day. They can enjoy what they have. They don't have to be miserable and worried about me every second just because I don't have what they have. And they don't have to be afraid to talk about it. I've always told my sister, my friends, that kind of thing, hey, when I'm going through a rough patch, don't you dare hide your joy from me. Don't you dare think, well, I can't tell her about my new car, or I can't tell her about this wonderful new dress or promotion, or don't you dare do that, because that implies that I'm some kind of emotionally immature baby who is not in touch with my own emotions, who is not personally responsible for my own life and my own emotions, who blames other people. It implies so much negative if you hide your joy from me. Now, I understand that feeling of not wanting to rub it in someone else's face who may not have as much as we do, but by damn it, there's also a thing as far as being personally responsible for our own emotions and not expecting the rest of the world to walk on eggshells or hide their joy. So it's all about perspective, isn't it? That's one to think on. There's a balance with everything. I guess it just depends on who you're going around and who you're talking to, but I don't ever want people to do that for me. I appreciate the consideration, but I can handle it. I am genuinely happy for other people's success, the things they get delighted about throughout the day, even if I am not having it as great. I don't hate on their energy. It gives me hope. It inspires me. This world, people should be able to delight in their successes without emotionally immature people that lack emotional intelligence sitting around going, well, you don't have to rub it in our face. Well, bitch, they don't owe you nothing either. I mean, that's just my attitude about it sometimes, but it is what it is. I get it. I'm considerate. I'm empathic. I feel for the people who are struggling. I've been there. I've lived in my car. I've been through all kinds of brutality. And I've also had some nice damn things in my life too, and some beautiful miracles and opportunities. So it is what it is, you know? But yeah, so just a little food for thought there. And I will be having some more topics coming soon. Um, we will be probably talking about my pre diabetic situation and all I learned from that. Probably some more psychological and spiritual topics, experiences, and things I'd like to share. And we'll just see where the channel goes from here, you guys, okay? And I know it's kind of been a mishmash of things, but at this point in my life, I really just want to get on, express what I need to let it flow through me, let spirit channel through me, put those messages out there, and continue getting myself together in my personal life. And we'll just see where it goes. And, you know, if it touches someone and reaches someone, that's wonderful. But at this very point, you know, it's really hard for me to keep up with the whole. I've got to perform for the algorithm. I've got to perform for videos on demand, and I've got to do this and that. More or less, it's kind of just for me at this time. But if it reaches some of you out there, then I think that's a wonderful thing too. So there will be more to come soon, you guys. And as always, I thank you for listening. I thank you for watching.